Rule 120. Judgment. Section 1. Judgment definition and form. Judgment is the adjudication by the court that the accused is guilty or not guilty of the offence charged and the imposition on him of the proper penalty and civil liability, if any. It must be written in the official language, personally and directly prepared by the judge and signed by him, and shall contain clearly and distinctly a statement of the facts and the law upon which it is based. 1a. Section 2. Contents of the judgment. If the judgment is of conviction, it shall state, 1. The legal qualification of the offence constituted by the acts committed by the accused and the aggravating or mitigating circumstances which attended its commission. 2. The participation of the accused in the offence, whether as principal, accomplice, or accessory after the fact. 3. The penalty imposed upon the accused, and 4. The civil liability or damages caused by his wrongful act or omission to be recovered from the accused by the offended party, if there is any, unless the enforcement of the civil liability by a separate civil action has been reserved or waived. In case the judgment is of acquittal, it shall state whether the evidence of the prosecution absolutely failed to prove the guilt of the accused or merely failed to prove his guilt beyond reasonable doubt. In either case, the judgment shall determine if the act or omission from which the civil liability might arise did not exist. 2a. Section 3. Judgment for two or more offences. When two or more offences are charged in a single complaint or information but the accused fails to object to it before trial, the court may convict him of as many offences as are charged and proved, and impose on him the penalty for each offence, setting out separately the findings of fact and law in each offence. 3a. Section 4. Judgment in case of variance between allegation and proof. When there is variance between the offence charged in the complaint or information and that proved, and the offence as charged is included in or necessarily includes the offence proved, the accused shall be convicted of the offence proved which is included in the offence charged, or of the offence charged which is included in the offence proved. 4a. Section 5. When an offence includes or is included in another. An offence charged necessarily includes the offence proved when some of the essential elements or ingredients of the former, as alleged in the complaint or information, constitute the latter. And an offence charged is necessarily included in the offence proved, when the essential ingredients of the former constitute or form a part of those constituting the latter. 5a. Section 6. Promulgation of judgment. The judgment is promulgated by reading it in the presence of the accused and any judge of the court in which it was rendered. However, if the conviction is for a light offence, the judgment may be pronounced in the presence of his counsel or representative. When the judge is absent or outside of the province or city, the judgment may be promulgated by the clerk of court. If the accused is confined or detained in another province or city, the judgment may be promulgated by the executive judge of the regional trial court having jurisdiction over the place of confinement or detention upon request of the court which rendered the judgment. The court promulgating the judgment shall have authority to accept the notice of appeal and to approve the bail bond pending appeal, provided that if the decision of the trial court convicting the accused changed the nature of the offence from non-bailable to bailable, the application for bail can only be filed and resolved by the appellate court. This application will let you trade all assets in the market today, which include stocks, crypto, ETFs, indices, forex, commodities among others. You can also copy the trades of the best traders, which is called social trading or copy trading. Earn rewards. Start by using my affiliate link. I may earn commissions from your registration. The proper clerk of court shall give notice to the accused personally or through his bondsman or warden and counsel, requiring him to be present at the promulgation of the decision. If the accused tried in absentia because he jumped bail or escaped from prison, the notice to him shall be served at his last known address. In case the accused fails to appear at the scheduled date of promulgation of judgment despite notice, the promulgation shall be made by recording the judgment in the criminal docket and serving him a copy thereof at his last known address or through his counsel. If the judgment is for conviction and the failure of the accused to appear was without justifiable cause, he shall lose the remedies available in these rules against the judgment, and the court shall order his arrest. Within 15 days from promulgation of judgment, however, the accused may surrender and file a motion for leave of court to avail of these remedies. He shall state the reasons for his absence at the scheduled promulgation, and if he proves that his absence was for a justifiable cause, he shall be allowed to avail of said remedies within 15 days from notice. 6a. Section 7. Modification of judgment. A judgment of conviction may, upon motion of the accused, be modified or set aside before it becomes final or before appeal is perfected. Except where the death penalty is imposed, a judgment becomes final after the lapse of the period for perfecting an appeal, or when the sentence has been partially or totally satisfied or served, or when the accused has waived in writing his right to appeal, or has applied for probation. 7a. Section 8. Entry of judgment. After a judgment has become final, it shall be entered in accordance with Rule 36. 8. Section 9. Existing provisions governing suspension of sentence, probation and parole not affected by this rule. Nothing in this rule shall affect any existing provisions in the laws governing suspension of sentence, probation, or parole. 9a.
Gcash is a domestic online application which is the best app to use when paying bills. You can also invest in the stock market using this app and an app to buy life insurance. Try it now. See the link in the description of this video to get 50 pesos cash rebate.